So woke actress Rachel Zegler, right? She's getting backlash because she went off on Trump supporters, not once, but a few times on her Instagram. In one breath, they're talking about F Donald Trump, F his supporters, hope there's no peace that comes to them. And then in another breath, she's talking about sending love. How does that make sense exactly? So woke actress Rachel Zegler, right? She's getting backlash because she went off on Trump supporters, not once, but a few times on her Instagram. Not surprised, because we know people who are ultra liberal, they are having a mental health crisis on their hands due to this election loss. So I'm not really surprised by this story, but I think you will be surprised by what she said. Now, before we get to the actual backlash, let's read what she said. I find myself speechless in the midst of this, another 4 years of hatred, leading us towards a world I do not want to live in. If I just stop right there, that is a red flag, just mentally, from a mindset point of view. I would love to live in this world, even if Kamala Harris was the president, by the way, because we only get one crack at this, right? Leading us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in, propaganda. Leading us towards a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want to. I don't get that. Okay. Leading us towards a world that is fearful. Now, in regard to force her to have a baby, no one's forcing her to open her legs and get pregnant. Okay. I shouldn't be this shocked, but I am. I'm heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning, and I'm here with you to cry, to yell, to hug. This is the thing, and I don't believe all Gen Z, I guess, will do this, but they have a knack at expressing every little emotion that they're going through, and not only what they say on social media, but in their videos. I just find that to be interesting. Anyways, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new pathway forward, this loss should not have been, and it certainly should not have been by so many votes. I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Now, in a world where these are the same individuals that want unity, these are the same individuals that do want peace, these are the same individuals that demand people be treated equally, they find a very funny way of setting the example. And here's the other one. There's also a deep, deep sickness in this country that is shown in a sheer amount of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. It is terrifying the number of people who stand behind what this man preaches. It is foolish subscription to a false sense of security, of masculinity, of intelligence, of patriotism, and of humanity. There is no help, no counsel in any of them. I could go on. I won't. I feel sad. You probably do too. F this. And there's more. Get off of Elon's app, by the way. The F are you doing? They're eating you up on Twitter. I don't use that app for a reason. He helped get that man elected, and you're giving him business. I was talking about finding catharsis in art. I don't care if you're going to pick a fight with me. It's been done before. Find something real to be mad at today. There's plenty to go around. Okay, and this might be the dagger for her, okay? That's all. Going on stage for Act 2 now, and need to get off my soapbox before I get too heated. Sending love to everyone who needs it today. May we all carry each other through the worst and hold these politicians accountable. Your dim governors just got very important. They already were, but hey, follow your governors. Hold them accountable. Local government is where we make real change. This is not the end ever. I will love through these 4 years as best as I can. And you know, Donald Trump. Okay, so they're true hypocrites. In one breath, they're talking about F Donald Trump, F his supporters, hope there's no peace that comes to them. And then in another breath, she's talking about sending love. How does that make sense exactly? But this is the logic that exists in the mind of these deranged liberals, especially people coming out of Hollywood and the entertainment industry. They don't know nothing about politics. They just know what the propaganda says, and that's what they repeat. But they don't do any of their own research. In fact, in most cases, they're out of touch with what's really happening in the country because they live a different life. Okay, so we knew this was coming because, again, she is working for Disney, and Disney has to be politically correct. So she, of course, had to apologize. But here's my thing for Disney. I know you've already fired one of your previous actresses to the point where there's a lawsuit that is against you for doing that. Will you do the same thing to her? I'm sure you won't, because you guys are a bunch of hypocrites. Anyway, Snow White star Rachel Zegler apologizes for a profane post wishing Trump supporters have no peace. I let my emotions get the best of me, the Disney actress wrote. Now, that's a poor excuse because she knows what she's doing. She has millions of followers on Instagram and across social media. She knows when she puts that out there, so many people are going to talk about it. It's going to grab attention. She's in Hollywood. She's not stupid, okay? So here's more of that apology. Hatred and anger have caused us to move further and further away from peace and understanding. And I'm sorry I contributed to the negative discourse. Now, if I just take her word for it, it's exactly what I was just saying. It's funny how you want peace and understanding, but then you come at people with hatred and anger. I mean, it's just funny. She didn't have to write that stuff and put it on her Instagram. She could still feel that way. But when you put it out there knowing it's going to grab the attention that it did, I mean, every criticism you're getting in return, it's well deserved. So Zegler's sharp comments drew immediate backlash as well as speculation it could hurt Disney's release of Snow White in 2025. Now, she's never been shy about expressing her own opinion. This isn't the first time she's been, dealing with controversy about comments. One of those in particular was last year when she posted Free Palestine. Yeah. Now, I love Megyn Kelly and a lot of her opinions about what's going on in this world. And so I have to play this because I think the way that she put it is exactly how everybody is feeling about this nonsense. Check this out.
Picture a Broadway actress who issued a post saying, F Biden supporters. May Biden or Kamala never have a moment's peace. That person would be fired so fast it would make your head spin. They wouldn't last one more minute in any Hollywood role. This is truly like, she has to go. I'm sorry, Disney. She has to go. And you're going to put out a Disney film with Snow White, a beloved American character, with a woman who hates more than half the country, the half that just elected Donald Trump. This is an incredible pivot point right now. We'll see which way the woke Disney decides to go.
Yeah, see, this is why politics does not belong in these other genres, right? Like, stop making politics a topic of conversation in Hollywood, in the entertainment industry, in music, in sports. Just keep it where it's always belonged, which is in politics, right? When you try to place it in these different genres, it causes chaos. And I don't know why people are so addicted to doing it. I get that we want to have a conversation, which I'm all for. But when you're shooting this movie, which happens to be a particular classic, right? And you guys have already gone woke with how you're even doing the movie in the first place, which is a whole nother thing. In fact, let me just show you an example of that. So meet the Seven Dwarfs, right? Now, of course, I don't know what this is. I don't know what they're wearing, but I'm not even going to get into the details. I think you know where this is headed, okay? This is not good. And if you're going to remake a classic and you're going to do it in the image or the idea of wokeness and DEI, we already know how that story ends. And for some reason, it seems that Disney has yet to learn their lesson. You'd think after losing so much money, they would stop doing things like this. But hey, that's just some guy on YouTube's opinion. All right, here's what Candace Owens had to say. Rachel Zegler is plausibly the worst investment that Disney has ever made. It's one thing to state that you supported Kamala. It is her right to express that. But she has quite literally wished harm on all who supported Trump. Snow White is mentally unwell. Now, remember, Gina Carano, right, who played in The Mandalorian, who was fired for her comments, which was much less than this. She didn't threaten anybody, by the way, and it definitely wasn't hateful rhetoric. She actually did call for peace. She retweeted Clay Travis's post, Disney fired Gina Carano for much less than this. Isn't that interesting? See the hypocrisy, right? We know this is a double standard. I'm not surprised. I'm sure you are not either. But it does call into question is what will Disney do from here? And will they stop allowing these social justice issues, this woke DEI stuff, this progressive ideology to continue to run rampant with their production? I would hope that they would learn their lesson because at the end of the day, they are a business that makes money. And I know they've lost money by going down this road. And so, but here's my question for you. Do you believe that Disney should fire Rachel Zegler for these comments? Let me know in the comment section below. And do you believe these comments warrant her even being canceled? Now, I don't believe in canceling people, but I'd like to know what your thoughts are as well about that. Now, speaking of being smart, Mayor Eric Adams has truly been very careful with how he's been answering questions since he's been indicted. Now, this is the New York City mayor Clearly, he's had a migration crisis on his hands as well. He's been very critical of Joe Biden. He went on to The View and he shut them down completely because they are still stuck on the issues that do not matter to the American people. And once again, shows us why they are out of touch. If you want to check out that video, all you have to do is click on it because it's coming up right now.